What's up, everybody? Cole Sands Fishing here. This is the fishing report for March 27th, 2023. Let's get into this week's report. So this week's report is brought to you by two of my awesome sponsors. First, Waterland. This is the sunglass company I've been using for about the past year and a half now. Love the glasses, man. Super durable. I can see in the water great. Coming in a ton of great options when it comes to lenses. They're set pretty reasonably priced too for as high quality glasses as they are. And I really have nothing bad to say about them, man. I've been using them, like I said, about a year and a half. And I think they're as good, if not better, than most companies out there when it comes to sunglasses. So y'all be sure to check them out. And they also make some cool hats, hoodies, stuff like that too. So pick up a couple of those while you're out there too. And then secondly, Integrity Retirement Group, another one of my awesome sponsors. Y'all are out here making money. Y'all want to fish more? Invest that money with Integrity. Give them a like and a follow on Facebook. Hit them up. And that way in the future you can fish a little bit more. But let's talk about fishing this week. So this past week it was kind of crazy. It went from being like 20 degrees on Monday to being about 80 degrees Thursday, which is the last day I fished. I went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this past week. And so it's kind of a transition period for the fish. The fish were definitely a little bit spread out and they're a little bit stingy. And, you know, which was to be expected. You know, that's kind of what I anticipated. And I knew I'd have to stay on my toes, hit a lot of good stuff. And that's the big thing at Chickamauga, man. If you're not catching them, just keep bouncing around. Keep an open mind. Every day is a different day on this lake. I mean, every single day where we caught a big fish. Monday and Tuesday, we caught some big fish off the same spot. But besides that, it was just like, just keep hitting stuff, keep hitting stuff, keep hitting stuff. And, you know, I was hitting 20, 30 spots a day, trying to make something happen. Now, once you get in there and you catch a few, slow down, you know, fish it good. But definitely had to cover a lot of water. But I'll talk about what worked this past week for me. And then I'll talk about what's going to work in the future because it's going to change in a big way. And I've already started to see what these fish are doing. So I'm really, really excited about the upcoming weeks. Be some tough days. This is always a weird time of year where you'll have a couple really, really tough days, like where it just sucks. And you'll have some awesome days where it's just phenomenal. And you're catching, you know, you might catch a 30, 35-pound bag. So you're going to have some of both. But okay, so Monday, went out looking for my upcoming trip. And caught some really big fish. Caught them on, I guess, two different baits mainly. Trying to think what all we caught them on. Caught one on just a single swim bait, which I showed y'all last week. Because last Monday I did my fishing report that afternoon after I'd been fishing. You know, just throwing a diamond baits jig head with a 4.5-inch single swim bait. Caught a big one doing that. But what really carried us most of the week for big fish was an 8-inch mag draft. Throw that in the whiteback shad, also throwing it in the nude rainbow color. Monday I had a couple 5s and a 6 off of it. Tuesday we had a 5 and a 5.5 off that bait. Wednesday they didn't bite it. Wednesday it was cloudy, overcast, and we could not get them to bite us. They'd follow it, but they wouldn't bite it. And then Thursday, my client, his 6th cast ever with a big swim bait, he caught an 8.28 on my Rapala scale, so it was probably even bigger than that. It was probably 8.5 would be my guess, but it was a really nice fish. And just throwing that around, and the deal with this, and for a lot of the big fish we caught this week, was finding stumps or brush in about 4 to 8 foot of water. Even that biggest one Thursday might have come out of like 10. Throwing that on 20-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon, 7.6 heavy action Shaman Series rod. I love this rod. It's lightweight. You can throw this big bait all day. And when throwing this thing, just lob it. You know, don't wear your shoulder out. I mean, just this bait weighs so much. Just lob it out there. Slow, steady retrieve. Every now and then I'll just speed it up just a hair. Very little subtle differences with this bait. Because if you reel it too fast, it'll go on its side. If you reel it too slow, the tail won't get great. So there is a perfect speed for it. And like I said, 4 to 8 foot of water and brush or stumps definitely seem to be the best cover. Some secondary points were good. Some ditches were also good. But just, you know, when you're throwing a bait that big, you just kind of have to commit to it. Tuesday, what all else did we catch them on? Tuesday wasn't real great. We caught like 9 fish. I think we caught a couple on a rattling vibe. Definitely caught a couple on the big swimmer. But just really had to work for every bite. And then Wednesday, it was super rainy, overcast, and hitting stuff. Man, we were striking out. Caught 3 or 4, a couple on a single swim bait, a couple on an Alabama rig. And Tuesday we actually did catch a few on an A-rig. That was the bait I was thinking of. And then Wednesday, when it was rainy and overcast, fished a lot of stuff and we were kind of striking out. Then I had one little spot, which is really a wintertime spot that I have. It's a little ledge with a little bit of brush on it and a lot of bait. And I pulled over there, hadn't fished it in a couple weeks, and we caught I think 8 or 9 fish off of it. And that one was a 7-pounder my client caught, and which was awesome. Then we caught a handful more, 2 to 3 pounders, which good solid fish, and had a pretty good limit. And caught them Tuesday and Wednesday, but Wednesday especially, throwing that Jerkbaits Alabama rig, throwing the slim swimmers on there, Jerkbaits jig heads 1/8 ounce. Got a really cool sickle hook design. I think that's the Tennessee shad color. I could be wrong. But that little rig right there, it's the 4.5 inch size. I talk about it a lot. Super durable, but it's still got a lot of flex to it when you stop it and start it, which I do like a lot. And these slim swimmers, man, you catch, I mean, those things don't tear up, That's the same swim baits I've had on it all week, and I haven't had to change them. So I love that about them. And if y'all are interested in these jig heads that I'm putting on it, that's the pack they come in. You can get it at diamondbaits.com, their website. What I like, you buy this pack. In Tennessee, we're allowed to throw 3 hooks. It comes with 3 hooks. There's 2 spring locks down at the bottom of the pack. So that's your A-rig set right there. You're ready to go as soon as you buy it. And I like these heads a lot because with that design, man, they give it a really good wobble. So that was definitely good. Other baits that worked this week. Monday, caught a couple nice fish. Got like a 5-pounder, a couple more little ones. By little, I mean keepers, but flipping a jig around, throwing it around some brush. Same deal with it. Some lay downs, and then some brush in like 8 foot of water, I'd say 8 to 10. Green pumpkin's my favorite color. Now if the water gets a little muddy, I will, go to a black and blue, but I'm a big green pumpkin guy, especially on Chickamauga. Green pumpkin blue's really good, but they all work pretty good. Besides Wednesday, besides the A-rig bite working out good, I actually did catch a few on a Yozuri 3DB jerkbait. I don't even remember what color this is. But that color right there, whenever the fish are eating shad, that's just a really good shad imitator. It looks a lot like a golden shiner too, which Chickamauga actually has a lot of golden shiner in it. And there's also a lot of yellow bass in a lot of the areas I'm catching fish. And I think that kind of has that golden yellow tint to it. And largemouth definitely like eating yellow bass and small white bass if they get the opportunity. So caught a few doing that, throwing that on 12-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon, 610 medium action Witch Doctor Tackle Sermon Series rod. This is the half glass, half graphite. It makes for an awesome jerkbait rod. For my jig setup, 20-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon, 7.2 heavy action Voodoo 2 rod from Witch Doctor. What else worked this week? The trap bite was not great for us. We caught a couple fish each day. We never smoked them on it, but Wednesday and Thursday, we caught 2 or 3 each day throwing that Yozuri rattling vibe around in the 5/8 ounce size. Threw it really in 2 different colors that seemed to work this week. The royal purple was also a good one. The royal purple, we were actually throwing it in a 1 knock and caught a few good fish on it, and just kind of helped get a few bites throughout the day. We were yo-yoing it. 16-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon. I throw mine on a pretty fast gear ratio. I mean, I got this on a Revo Rocket right now just so I can get the slack out of it. 7.2 medium heavy Sermon Series rod from Witch Doctor. Awesome rod when it comes to ripping a trap out of the grass. And then we've already talked about the big swim bait. And this big swim bait bite's a bite that will last. It should last really for the next month. Should be really good. I always like throwing a big swim bait in April as well. And a lot of times in April, I will pick up a glide bait. So that's something else to kind of keep in mind is that glide bait bite will start to pick up. And then last but not least, I actually got 2 more. The Yozuri 3DRX flat crank. Wednesday night, we had a lot of rain going into my trip Thursday. Picked up that little guy because a lot of the creeks were starting to get stained. At the end of the day, like I said, we caught a big one early on that swim bait. Ran a ton of stuff, couldn't get a bite. Caught 2 or 3 here and there. Picked that sucker up on just some natural rock banks and caught, I think we caught 6 or 7 fish on it. And that's 14-pound Yozuri T7 fluorocarbon, 610 medium heavy action Sermon Series rod. As you can probably tell, any moving bait I'm throwing that Sermon series pretty much. And that sucker right there, man, that's such a great crankbait. And I'm a big cranker, and I've thrown a lot of crankbaits, and I've never seen fish that were fickle eat a crankbait quite like they do this one. I mean, just about everyone you catch too is like down their throat. Yozuri did very good on this product, and I definitely am very happy they came out with it this year because it is sweet. And then, last but not least, is the old Deadly Nedley, the old Ned rig. And didn't catch a ton on it this week. I didn't throw it a ton either, but when I did pick it up, I was able to get a few bites. 1/10 ounce, I believe it's a 1/10 ounce Ned rig head. Throwing the Little Deuce from Fishco, green pumpkin blue swirl. Love that color. It's probably my go-to color. Texas Red is also a killer this time of year. It's the one that's got the green pumpkin on the back, red on the belly. That's from Fishco. You know, just throwing this around some stump rows. Anywhere I think the fish are starting to move up to spawn. I think they were starting to move up to try to spawn about 2 weeks ago. I don't think they're quite ready to do it, but they were getting in them areas when it got really warm, and then we had that cold front hit that just kind of put them in a funk. But I noticed Thursday, I think the fish are getting back up in those areas, and definitely something to keep in mind going into you know, this upcoming week. It's supposed to be a lot warmer, and over the next few weeks, that is going to be a fish catching full. Other baits I like to throw, the Fishco 4-inch finesse worm, green pumpkin Texas Red, throw it on a little, like an 1/8 ounce shaky head, 1/10 ounce shaky head, even a 1/16 ounce shaky head sometimes. As these fish get around the spawn is going to be killer. Nico rigs, wacky rigs are going to really start to play, creature baits. So I kind of expect the next couple of weeks the moving bait bite to kind of taper off, and we'll see a soft plastic bite really pick up. So that's kind of my thought for the next couple of weeks. Definitely this next week guiding, I'm still going to hit a lot of that in between stuff in like 4 to 8, because that's where I felt like the biggest females were this week. We're going to throw some big swim baits on them, maybe some rattle traps and stuff, but definitely the big swim bait bite, we're going to try to keep it going. Like I said, a glide bait can be really good around the spawn. The 6-inch mag draft can be really good just for going down banks looking for fish. And then could even be a little bit of a top water bite going on in the next couple of weeks. I don't know, but definitely going to start picking up, you know, the soft plastics, especially like the Fishco Little Deuce. Even the Double Deuce is a really good bait. It's a little bit bigger profile, which I like to pick up sometimes. That 4-inch finesse worm is going to be killer, and definitely some creature baits too. So that's it for this week's fishing report. I'll keep y'all updated as I go out next week, what I see is working, and hopefully figure out how to catch a couple big fish. But good luck on the water, guys, and I'll catch y'all next time.